Hey everybody, my name is Dark Side Ali here, and this is a quick video. Um, it's going to be talking about Titan Season 2, Episode 8. It's called Jericho, and I'm sorry I couldn't get this out. I've been having a lot of internet issues, and I wanted to have that taken care of before I make any videos. What did I think of this episode? I actually like the episode. I do have a few problems with certain aspects of everything, but we did get a lot of understanding about Slade and what his relationship to Jericho, how that whole thing started, and why does Dick Grayson feel that at the end of the episode of Bruce Wayne, when he said that I'm the one that killed Jericho? Now we get down to Jericho's character. First of all, his name is not Jericho. That's his actual code name. He created it himself. His real name is Joseph Wilson, and his older brother was supposed to be Grant Wilson, and they didn't know about Rose. Rose was the youngest sister. Now, in this, they stated that Slade got his powers from his abilities or his powers or abilities. He got it all from Hive, and that's not what happened. That was not what really happened. Now, in the original backstory for Slade, not the New 52, but his original, it was a American experiment that basically went wrong. Then of course Arrow did the Mirakuru storyline, but then now they're going with the New 52, which was Hive that gave him his abilities because he was a captured U.S. agent and got experimented on. He was part of a Black Ops team, which is a highly trained division of the government that he was a part of and the military. So he's a trained army, and I believe even a ranger and a marine. I think he was either one of those. But it's been a while since I actually read the Deathstroke comic book. Now they attributed the Deathstroke comic book that came out, the New 52, and I'm sorry, yeah, the New 52 and Rebirth. That whole line of Deathstroke comics, the solo Deathstroke comics, to this. So you get the understanding of who Slade is at this time. Now, they stated that he got these abilities before Jericho was born. Now, again, they never talked about Grant, so there is no Grant Wilson in this. Shameful. I wish they introduced Grant. And I think they wanted to introduce Grant because of Arrow did it because Arrow did Grant Wilson on Arrow as the new Deathstroke, and that storyline went nowhere. I don't know who cares. Two, now Jericho he started to display his own abilities, and he got close to the Titans, and they were going to use him to get information. So they found out all this information that his dad actually loved his family. Slade loved his family, but when he left the army, he went into the assassination guild build, and he did it with Billy Wintergreen, and they created this, gun for hire type of situation, and that's how Slade was able to make a lot of money. But he made a lot of enemies, and one of the enemies came in and attacked his family, and he was about to kill him. But he was trying to assess the situation and make sure that his family was going to be safe. But one of them had a knife to his son's throat, and right when Slade was going to make his move, out of nowhere, the gentleman cut Jericho's neck. And that's what makes him mute. He can actually talk. He talked before, but he got his neck slit, and basically he can't talk. Um, that's not what happened. In the original, I'm not saying New 52, but I'm saying the original backstory. Jericho was born mute. He was born with his abilities. He's a natural born metahuman, and it's not because of his dad. It's just he was born that way. He was born that way while his dad was away. While his dad was away, this was not even before he got the enhancements. This was before he got the enhancements. So Jericho was born that way, and he held those powers away from even his father, his mother, even Grant. They didn't know he had powers because he didn't know what to do with those powers. It was later during the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths we found out a lot more about Jericho and everything else. And Adeline, they introduced Adeline. The relationship between Slade and Adeline is exactly how it was even in the original and the New 52. She doesn't like him. She believes that he's at fault for everything. It's always his fault. When it's a little bit more of both of them. Both of them did a lot of stupidity, and I do believe that they contributed too much to Slade. And also, they did a few things that Slade wouldn't do. Slade loves his kids. He loves his kids. They are an extension of himself. He sees immortality through them, and he does everything he possibly can to keep them safe. If someone even hints at his kids, he kills them. He makes them go away. They will never see a feather go anywhere near those kids. That's how much he loves those kids, and that's why he stays away, because he knows that his life and the lifestyle he leads, it can bring tragedy. So he just stays the heck away from his wife and his kids, and he sends them money all the time. So they know that he's out there, and they know that he gives them money. And also Joseph. His name is Joseph. Joseph and Grant. They know that Slade loves them. They know that Slade loves them. It was just the fact that he had to stay away because of the life he leads as Deathstroke. But they basically made it where Adeline hates him because of what happened with Jericho. And I'm gonna call him Jericho just for this episode, but his name is Joseph. So we get a little bit more with Richard, and when Richard finds out that he has those powers, he brings him to the Titans, and he says that he wants him to join up with him. He doesn't want to kind of do this anymore. And that's when Dawn reveals to him that we need to tell him the truth. Then we need to tell him that we use him to get to his father. She says that we have to have all cards on the table. So they reveal to Jericho who they are, and he reveals to Jericho why they're after his dad. And he says that his dad killed somebody, and he says, yeah, your dad's a hired assassin. And that's what starts to break the trust between the son and the father. Now, one of the things about Slade that a lot of you have to truly understand is that he loves his kids. And I said that before. He loves his kids. However, he won't lie to them. If they ask him, "Did you kill this person?" He says, "Yep." He says, "But you don't understand. You're still a little kid. You don't understand the whole situation." And they say, "No, no, 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 no. You killed somebody." So they will bring to him. He will not tell a lie to his kids. He will twist the truth into a lie, but he will never flat out lie to his kids. Um, because he believes that's a wrong thing to do. He loves his kids that much, but he will twist it. He will twist the truth a little bit to make it seem like what he's doing is, who cares? He gets paid for it. It doesn't matter. People die every day and no one cares. So why should you care about this person that I killed? You know, it is what it is. Um, but they didn't do that. They made him more of a liar. He literally lied to his kid, and that's not the truth. He says that these Titans, they're not heroes. They're this and this and this. Wait a minute. They're well-renowned heroes. Everyone knows that Robin is with Batman. Everyone knows who the heck Wonder Girl is. Everyone knows who Hawk and Dove are. They know who these heroes are. They are heroes. They're heroes with the greatest heroes in the world. So for Slade to say they're not heroes, they're this, and that makes no sense. Slade would never say that to his kid. He would actually tell his kid, "Yeah, I was hired to kill him. What do you want me to do about it? You want me to just say no? Heck no, I can't do that. That goes against the creed of what I do." He goes, "Hey, you can be angry at me all you want about that, but you don't understand anything. You're still a kid. You're still sheltered in the middle of a suburban household. You know, until you get out into the real world, you don't know anything." And that's how Slade will do it. He will twist it to make it seem like he's right, you're wrong, when he knows that he's wrong about what he's doing. He just doesn't care. He's a paid assassin. That's his job. He can't quibble over morality when it comes down to it. If he's paid a lot of money to kill this person, that's who he's supposed to kill. So sorry, the kid got in the way. He was never my target. He would instantly told him that. He goes, "That kid got in my way. That wasn't my target." He goes, "What the hell you mean?" That he was like, "No, he was an accident. He got in the way. I wasn't supposed to kill him. He was never on the contract." So that's how they could have written it, but they never did that. They were trying to get more of the emotional aspect that Slade was trying to twist his son into not trusting into Richard and everything else. So over then we get Billy Wintergreen. He's being an a-hole, whatever. We're gonna move past that. Now, Jericho in the episode is very conflicted. He wants to talk to his dad. He wants to know the truth, but he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to displease Robin and the rest of the Titans. So he goes to them and tells Dawn what the plan is, and Dawn goes to Richard, and Richard says, "Well, I can't get in the middle of that." She goes, "Well, he doesn't want to upset you. He doesn't want to displease you. He wants to be a part of this team. He wants to be a part of this, but." And they have a conflict because he says that, what the heck are you talking about? You're the one that told me to be Batman. Batman would do something like this. And it's true, Batman would do something like this. He would actually use a kid to get to the parent, but he would be much more meticulous about it. And on top of that, if the kid has displayed powers, he would stop what he's doing. He would actually stop mistreating this kid and get the kid out of the situation and then go after the parent. That's how Batman would work. Batman would never ever continuously keep using a kid to get to the parent if he knows this kid is going to have powers or has powers and can be very influential and be more and actually help become a hero. Batman would get that kid out of the situation. There's a ways you can do it, but Batman would do something like this. Would do something like that. Then Richard goes to Joseph and he tells him, "Go ahead." I'm sorry, Jericho. He goes to Jericho, tells him, "Go ahead. I'm not going to be in the middle of it. If you want to talk to your dad, that's your prerogative. Go ahead." And Jericho goes and tries to talk to his dad. While all this is going on, Donna gets a message from her handler, and that's the woman that you saw in Bruce Wayne and also in the Aqualad episode. The woman that Donna goes to talk about when she had to go home and everything else. And after Garth died, the woman said, "Nope, stay here, find out what the heck is going on," and everything else. You come to find out that that Slade's target was that woman, and Garth just got in the way, like I said before. And so I'm sorry, Donna, she gets a message from this woman and goes to see her, and that's when you find out that Slade already attacked them and killed them. So you already know right then and there that Slade is good enough to take on Amazonian warriors. That's insane. That's insane. And what makes it funny is that Donna is stronger than all these other Amazonian warriors. So she should be powerful enough to basically overtake him. Fast and powerful, but as in the later episodes when he attacks her, he completely annihilates her. He destroys her. Now I know in a lot of aspects people could say, well, how can that happen? And like I said, Donna is more powerful than any of the other Amazonians. She's not like all the rest of them. Just like how Diana is. They are all in the same crop. They're very very powerful. Um, and skilled. So I'm not saying that Deathstroke should have a hard time with Donna. I'm saying that she should be able to give him a good run for his money before he says, "You know what, I'm done with this," and he completely destroys her. But nope, he just completely destroys her in this. He basically almost rips her shoulder out of her socket with a knife, and he basically almost eviscerates her guts open and leaves her in a pool of her blood. And he tells her right to her face, "Stay away from my son." And I'm like, that's not what he would say. He would never tell her to stay away from his son. All he would ask her to do is he would just tell her that he would tell her right to her face that he goes, "You're lucky you're not on the contract, or you be dead just like the rest of them. But this is a message to let you know that I'm here, and I'm gonna stop you from what you're ever gonna be doing with my kid." He would never tell her to just stay away from my son and walks away. No, 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 no. He would never do that. What he would do is he would literally make her know that you were never part of the contract. You're lucky I don't kill you right now, and I'm letting you know, and you tell the rest of your friends that my son is off limits. Whatever you're doing with my kid, stay the heck away from my kid. He would first let her know that the only reason why you're alive is the fact that you're just not on the contract. She was. You're not. The rest of them got in the way. That's why I killed them. But don't get in my way again. And whatever you're doing with my kid, stop. Leave him alone. And walks away. That's Slade. That's Deathstroke. He would never ever just tell her, "Stay away from my son." And it just seems like the scene, he just did that just because he wanted to make a point. That's not Slade. Slade would finish the job. His job is to kill that woman. He went in there, killed her. He would let Donna know that you were not on the contract. She was. Stay away from my kid. Whatever you're doing with my kid, you stay the heck away from my kid. And he walks off. That's how I would have rewrote that scene to make it make more sense because now what they're again I'll get into it a little bit later. Now, um, she initiates a distress beacon, and Robin and Dick Grayson goes to her and the rest of the team. They meet up with her, and they find out that she went unconscious, and they patch her up as best as they possibly could. But Dick goes right after Deathstroke because he knows where he's at. He knows where he went. And when he confronts him, Jericho tells him that you followed me. He goes, "Yep, see, he followed you." Wait a minute, no, he didn't. He told him, "Why the heck no?" He Richard already told Jericho, "You can go talk to your dad. I'm not getting your way with that." That was like 4 scenes ago. He told him, "No, I'm not." If he wanted to follow him, he would have already been there. He would have already been there. So it makes absolutely no sense. It makes no sense. And Deathstroke were talking this whole time. But if he was, but it's just the way the scene was constructed. It makes no sense. There was a lot of body tone that makes you feel like that if he was there, he would just stood there and he would have been calm. The way he ran in, it was like he was angry and frantic. So it shows that there's something else going on, and Jericho just didn't understand. And I wish that they actually made him say right off the bat, you killed people. You killed my friend. You almost killed Donna, and that would have been right there, make him go and make him look at his father and go, why'd did it sound like why did you attack Donna? Why did you attack her for? And you saw and that's what would have made a lot more sense for when they were attacking and what happens in the eventual end. Now again, there's a lot of things in there that to me it makes no sense because body tone makes a scene. And if you're talking to someone and a person runs in and they're frantic and upset, that you can't say that you followed me. Why'd you? I thought you said you could trust me. Wait a minute. He would have been looking at him going, wait a minute, what's wrong? And then Dick would have initially told him, you almost killed Donna. And he was like, wait a minute, what? He goes, wait a minute. He goes, Donna's lying in a pool of her own blood. Like, if he explained all of this, it would have made a lot more sense to Jericho that why'd you attack Donna for? He goes, yes, and also you attacked those people at the you attacked her friends, you attacked her family, you killed her family, and there's like, what the heck? So I wish that they did that. That would have made way more sense than what the heck they did in that scene. To me, it would have made a lot more sense. And I know other people can put a lot of defense to it, but to me, body tone, body demeanor makes a lot of sense in a scene because for you to make sense of a scene, if a person comes in frantic and doesn't explain anything, then why is Jericho getting angry for? And what Slade is doing makes absolutely no sense, and it makes it seem like Jericho is an idiot when he's not an idiot. The character was written very well. He's just a little naive, but he's not stupid. He's not stupid at all. And to write him in a way that makes it so Richard, who runs in after Donna gets almost completely eviscerated and destroyed, he's not gonna tell Jericho in front of his dad, tell Jericho in front of his dad that his father almost killed Donna, just to show that his dad is a ruthless murderer. That would actually add more weight to the scene. It would actually add more weight to the whole character, and it made Jericho look at his father in a much different light. Because throughout their little talk, he's telling his son, like, listen, I did what I did, and I'm sorry for it, but you got to understand, there's a lot of things that was going on, and I had to take care of it. He was appealing to him like a father to a son. But when a person comes in and says, your dad just killed Donna, and I have proof, I have actual proof of this. Donna can say it. He attacked her. He has a sword, his knife, everything. Look at it. It has probably blood all over it right now. Richard would have done all that. He would have pleaded his case in front of Jericho so Jericho can understand that his dad is a murderer. So I wish they did that, and then it would have broken whatever trust and love between Jericho and his dad, and it would have made Deathstroke complete. Like, he'd have been, okay, I got to take care of you. Click, and he would have went after him. I wish that they did that. I wish that they showed that Jericho was slowly starting to see that his dad is a murderer. Now, this is the part that really started to upset me. The fight sequences was great. It was phenomenal. It showed a lot better than even a lot of the CW. The only one was Black Lightning. Oh my god, Black Lightning was off the effing chain. I loved it. It was great action and everything. But the rest of them was garbage. It's terrible with their fighting choreography. However, Titans did a really good job between Deathstroke and Robin. Now, I talked to Hawk in one of our in one of our in one of our podcasts. We will talk about Deathstroke and how he's portrayed and everything else. And you're gonna hear a lot from Hawk. Okay, I understand you're gonna hear a lot about him, but I'm gonna tell him he needs to tone it back just a little bit because we're gonna have an audience here that's not very entwined with a lot of the older comics that me and he and I are very well attuned to. We know a lot about the older comics. We understand the newer comics are out, and that's the universe that you guys know. But you also got to realize that we know about the older comics and we know about how these characters were portrayed. They have changed them, but which we want to give you a lot more understanding to the evolution that this character has been attributed to. Slade loves his kids, and they show that even in the New 52 and everything else. However, he's a cold demeanored person, and how they portrayed him in when he was talking to Jericho, it was very detached. It was very detached. He showed a little bit of love, but it was very meticulous and very cold. And Jericho didn't see it. He didn't sense it, and that was only because he's looking at his dad. He's looking at his dad to his face. So it's not like and his dad is a pretty stoic person. His dad is a pretty stoic individual. Now, um, during their fight, Jericho's in the area, and I said before, this is one of the things I said. Slay loves his kids. Slay loves his kids. He would never put them in danger. He would minimize the damage and take that person out while never shooting a bullet, never going wild. He would make sure that he knows exactly where his kid is in every point of his attacks. That's how meticulous Slade Wilson is. What they did in this episode, in that fight sequence, the fight sequence was great, but they were blasting. He was using bomb. He used a bomb to take out Richard Grayson. His son was in the area, and it blew his son right off his feet. Now anybody can say, "Well, that's Deathstroke." No, Deathstroke would never do that. Deathstroke would never put his children in harm's way. He loves his kids. He loves them. He would never do that. Two, he was blasting. I believe he was blasting holes all over that whole church area. Just to take down Richard Grayson, take down Robin, and I'm like, wait a minute, he shoot him in the same angle where his son is, and I'm like, wait a minute, he would never do that. He would never do that. He would actually use a taser line, pull Richard back over, and grab him and toss him into another area, so he would keep his son out of the whole fight. Then he beats down Richard, and at the apex of the whole fight, at the climax of the whole fight, and Richard's knocked out cold. Like he's seeing birds, and no pun intended. But he's looking at stars, and Slade turns around, which he would never do. He would never do it. He would never turn his back to a fallen enemy. That is the worst thing a swordsman would ever do. You don't turn your back to anybody. You don't. You're not a Jedi. What the hell is that? I mean, come on. He would never do it anyway. No person would ever do that. That is a swordsman no. And he turned his back, took out his sword, and he walked a couple of steps and turned to try to do a huge gouge down. And his son came in the way and got impaled and killed. End of episode. Really, really, really. His like I said, the whole fight sequence was great. The fact that Robin got his ass beaten, and that's happened before, happened numerous times in the comics before. But when he became Nightwing, it completely changed. He was a different fighter. He knew how to fight. He got a little bit more ruthless, a lot more cunning, and he was able to almost beat Deathstroke. He's capable of almost beating Deathstroke in a lot of the situations. But if Deathstroke really wanted to kill him, he would kill him. But Richard got into a point where he can actually fight him and keep him at bay. He can't overpower Deathstroke, but he can use his skills to keep him pinned down. And Deathstroke's like, crap, he can't beat him now. He can't truly beat Richard. However, this is Robin. This is before he becomes Nightwing. This is before he goes on off on his own and gets that mindset of what to do. He got completely raped. He got completely destroyed. And this episode really showcased it. And I really, really liked it. Um, and I felt that that was a lot better. Um, However, I hated how they killed Jericho. That was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. It showed that Deathstroke they didn't know what to do in that scene. They were showing that Deathstroke was wild and the scene is cool and everything. No, they needed to show how meticulous he is, how pinpoint accuracy he is, and show also that he understood where his son was at every pinnacle point. He knows where his kid is, so he knows how to fight Richard. Richard's in there just trying to dodge and weave and get out of the way. He's not thinking about that. He's just trying to survive. Deathstroke's in a different complete mindset. He knows exactly where his son is, and he knows that Richard's gonna try to disappear and then reappear and this and that. He's like, I'm on to those levels of tactics that Batman uses. So you can't beat me that way. And that's how I think that they're gonna have to defeat Slade. They're gonna have to use Rose. Rose. They're gonna have to use Rose to kill. I don't think they're gonna kill Deathstroke. I think that Rose is gonna want to, but she's gonna say no. My dad should not go to jail. I think my dad should just go to jail. Go to jail and just stay there. And I think that that's where he's gonna and she's gonna say right off the bat, if you don't do this, I will kill you. I will kill you, and I will walk away from it. And then Deathstroke's gonna realize he's gonna have to. He's gonna have to go to jail because if his daughter is gonna try to kill him, he can't kill his daughter. He won't. That's his mindset. He won't. He'll beat her down, but he won't kill her. But she will. But the thing is, she's gonna keep coming after him, and he can't have that. He can't have that while he's on a mission. A person that's going to come out of nowhere and disturb his mission and get him killed. So it's gonna brew. It's gonna brew in him that he's gonna have to kill his daughter, and it's going to completely destroy his soul if he has to kill his own kid. It's gonna destroy his soul, and like I said, he loves his kids. So he's gonna have to make a choice: either go to jail and accept the fact that you killed Jericho and live in travesty that way, that you killed your son and you destroyed a whole bunch of lives, or guess what? I'm gonna keep coming. I'm gonna keep coming, and I will kill you, or I'll get them to kill you, and it won't be the Titans. It'll be somebody else. She will make sure that he gets killed out there, and people are gonna find out that Deathstroke is dead. And you're like, wow. So I hope that they go that kind of route. So this episode, in my personal opinion, is a 3. It's good. I think that Bruce Wayne was a 3.5. It was a little bit better. I just did not like how they did Bruce Wayne. It was so cartoony. It was dumb. Some people loved it, and I'm like, you're too young to understand. You just too young to understand. And that's okay. Again, that's okay. That's the criticism. I say that is the stupidest thing because I lived it. I watched that version of Batman. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And to go reverse with Batman, turn him back into a comic relief character is not the best thing for his character. It's the destructive portion of his character. He's supposed to be a character of fear, not a character of ridicule and being a laugh about. Um, but that's here or there. But I'm still saying Connor was the best episode, one of the best. It was that and Deathstroke. Deathstroke and Connor was the best episodes of this season. My God, it had a lot of emotion. It had a lot of deep, rooted character building. They kind of destroyed Deathstroke a little bit with the writing in Jericho, but it's not enough for me to go, oh, bruh. No, it's made me go, I'm kind of growing over it, but I'm getting an understanding that this is how they want to build Deathstroke, and in a way that's okay. But I think that they should be open to that criticism that you kind of destroyed his character because his character loves his kids and he would never put his kids in harm's way. He's a very stoic character. He's not. If he hears, like, there's a scene where he's talking to Adeline, and Adeline tells him that he's met these friends and blah blah blah. He goes, I already know who it is. When they're talking to each other, you can see that he's still that Slade from before. No, 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 no. That's not Slade. Slade will be stoic. He would stand there and he will just keep eyeing out. He would be looking out into the scenery while he's talking to Adeline. And Adeline's looking at him like, you don't care. And he goes, you think I don't care? And he turn her and he look at her and goes, I do care. I care in my own way. But you need to understand that there's a lot of things going on here, and I will take care of it. Just tell me what you want